Hey everyone, so this video will be on rotations. This one involves a little bit more steps, but it's actually pretty fun. So click on the GeoGebra link here and then scroll up to the steps. We're going to be alternating back and forth. So we get here, cat is still going to be the pre-image of dog, triangle cat and triangle dog. And we know that a rotation is occurring, so I'm not going to go through the whole steps of the orientation and everything, but you definitely should in the future. So step one is to create a line segment between a pre-image point and its corresponding image. So we're going to create that segment by going from C to D. Just going to follow along with the letters. Okay, step 2 says repeat step 1. So we found another pair. I'm going to go from A to O. Okay, so you do that for 2 segments. Then, step 3, create perpendicular bisectors for each segment. Again, you can do the circles, like go from C out to D, and D out to C, and then do the bisector through that, or you can just go down and do perpendicular bisector. Okay, there we go. So step 4 says create a point where the bisectors intersect. So we're going to do a point. It's automatically going to snap to where those 2 points intersect, which is nice. And we don't already have a point B, so that's okay. Then we want to create segments from the pre-image point to the center of origin, and then from the center of origin to the corresponding point. Basically, we're doing the measuring the angle of rotation, like we've been doing in some of the Desmos. So it doesn't matter which one you do. I'm going to do the first letters again, just to keep myself organized. So from C to B, and then B to D. If you're having a hard time with all these lines and stuff, keeping track of what's what, you can change the colors. I'll change them both to red, so we know that that's the angle that we're going to be measuring. You can also do the circle from the center of rotation through C, and that'll show you that you're going to D. Okay, so now we have to find out what that angle of rotation is. So you start with your pre-image point, center of rotation, and then your image point. And it says 74 degrees. Okay, so now, and just to make sure, we can scroll down and say, okay, if we're starting at C and going counterclockwise along the circle, then it'll be 74 degrees. Again, if we were going from D all the way counterclockwise to C, then that would be a little bit different. It'd be a lot bigger angle. Off the top of my head, no, not happening this morning. Sorry. Okay, so then the final step is to write down the rotation in correct notation. So we want to go here. We can insert a new equation because that's already been done. We use our big R, the shift minus sign to get the subscript. The name of that center of rotation point was B, so we can do a capital B, comma, and then it's 74. There is, hold on just a second. Okay. So Google for some reason doesn't have the degree symbol with LaTeX, so I just put this in there. If you need a degree symbol in the future, you can just copy and paste this one. I'll leave this one in here for you all. I'm going to pause the video and tell you what to write for B. So looking at our picture, we've got AT and OG. Of course, those are the same parts of that triangle. So what you're going to write is yes, and then you can copy this piece, paste it. This is AT is congruent to OG because if two triangles are congruent, then all corresponding parts are congruent. And what that means is that if you've got two congruent triangles, then the corresponding sides are also congruent. This is going to build on an idea we're going to use later on, but that's everything you need to know for rotations. Translations, super easy, coming up next.